That's crap.
Baloney.
Bullshit.
Hogwash.
Baloney. Bullshit.
Baloney.
Bullshit.
Rubbish.
Bullshit.
Crappy.
Mega crap. Bullshit.
Everything that guy just says, bullshit. Thank you.
Welcome to the Bullshit Podcast, where we bullshit about everything because we don't know what's real out there, but we do have our own takes on it, and we know that's bullshit too. I'm Jason.
I'm Shay.
And let's talk some bullshit. So, what should we talk about today, Shay?
Well, I believe on the agenda we wanted to talk about people who call their animals kids. You didn't want me to just specify dogs.
Yeah, I don't want to specify. I think people do with their cats and stuff, and they call them their children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that bother you, or do you agree with that statement?
I think at one point it bothered me. My girlfriend actually refers to her dogs as babies.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
I don't think what's the word? She doesn't refer to them as her children, really. Other people refer to them as our children, which is kind of weird. And everyone always what is it? They always speak as if they're personifying my dogs by saying "Oh, Dad," and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did that too. You came over here with your dogs one weekend ago. I played with them. I spoke for them. I called you Dad, and I called her Mom for him. And I understand that. But what I don't like is people who think they have pets so they can handle a child. I know you've heard that.
Well, I mean, I've heard that, if you want to have kids, having a dog is, a really good first step.
No.
No?
No. Here's
the deal. What do you think?
Here's the deal. So, when your dog pisses you off, if you're a bad dog owner, you could spank it. You can throw it outside. You can put it in a crate. You can leave it home alone. You can do whatever the fuck you want to a dog. You can do the same thing to a cat. Minus abusing it, I understand. Don't break any laws. But children are a bit different. You actually have to coexist with the child. You have to talk to the child. You can't put them on a shelf. When they're sick, you can't be go lay down in the crate and then take them for walks and then forget about them. It doesn't work like that. With children, they're 24/7. They never stop. You can never put them in the other room. You can't just leave your house. You actually have to get a babysitter for them until they're old enough to deal with themselves. And even then, when they're old enough to deal with themselves, who knows if they're going to burn down the house. But if you lock your dog in the bathroom, your house is fine. Maybe you take off the toilet roll so it doesn't eat the toilet roll. But comparing an animal to a pet and being serious about it drives me fucking nuts.
I just think it's funny. I mean, there's that old meme, right, where it's someone calls themselves a dog mommy to a fur baby, but they keep their dog locked up in a cage for 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, those people are great. But my point is, she's not going to go to jail for that. If I put either of my kids, I'll just say one of them into a crate for a day.
I don't think a person who keeps their dog in a crate for 14 hours is a great person. Just saying.
But they're not going to jail. They're not going to jail.
No. Well, I think at a certain point, there is a certain level of, dog abuse where you go to jail.
Sure.
I know that, they're talking about doing stricter punishments for people who abuse animals.
I heard they're going to create a, just like they have the sex offenders list. I heard they're going to have an animal abusers list, which I think is a good idea.
I'm down with that.
Sorry. It keeps people from having to give out pets or animals to people who already are known abusers. I think that's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah. And I know some places they do where you have to fill out a questionnaire or whatever to get a dog or a cat. What kind of food do you feed them? What are you going to... And then whether or not that determines whether or not you get to adopt them.
You want to hear something crazier? You don't have to do shit to have a kid. I get to go get
That's
laid
true.
to have a kid. I get to inseminate a woman with my sperm, which will go to her little egg, make a kid, and it doesn't give a fuck. Nobody cares what the fuck that I've done. They will still deliver the baby and hand it right over to me unless I'm committing crimes that people know about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's CPS, but I don't know that they always do what they're supposed to do. That just reminds me of I was This is really funny. I don't know if I should really be talking about this either. When I was living in Sac, there was this couple that lived below us, and I remember one time she was dragging her kid to the house, and he was whining, and she's like, "You stop whining right now." And he's like, "Why? What's wrong?" Ah. And she's like, "Do you want the white people to come and take you away?"
That is a little fucked.
Yeah, she was referring to the CPS, but I was like, oh.
I actually know a couple people who work with CPS. One is a social worker. The other one is like a transcriptor. She takes all the tapes from when CPS personnel speak with children and then converts it into writing for courts. And she says it's pretty horrible. And she also said, when it comes to her end of dealing with things, that CPS does try to do everything they can for a kid, but the laws do keep them from getting help. But back to animals and not just straight children, I think there are legitimately people who can okay, I think this person would be okay with me talking about, so I'm going to. So y'all know Sophia from previous episodes. That's my lady. She's the best lady in the world. Shay's lady's pretty good too. I will not say she's less than Sophia, but my lady's for me and I love her. But she has a friend at work who she is friends with and who knows me. I'll leave her name out of this. But she said that she's ready to have a kid because she has dogs. And that just doesn't compute. Sophia, who basically is like a stepmother to my children, I would say. She supports financially. She puts in her time with the kids. She loves the kids. She's like a mom. She never refers to herself as such, and the kids appreciate that. And we're not looking for that kind of relationship with the kids, but she puts in enough time with the kids that she literally laughed at her friend and was like, "You have no idea. What are you talking about? You cannot." There's no comparison. You can't kick the kid out of the room. If the kid's crying and whining, you can't be like, "Shut up." You have to deal with it.
And dogs, I'm not going to get into like how to raise a dog or whatever, because people have their own theories and do their own thing. And I get pretty serious about how I train my dogs, but they're not super hard to train. You just really have to be consistent.
Your dogs are well behaved. They're welcome to my house anytime.
There are things that I would do different if I was to raise them from puppies, but we've gotten rid of most of their bad habits. The worst one that really gets on to me, that really gets on my nerves, is Lil will continue to jump on people. And I've gotten her to stop jumping on me, but unfortunately my girlfriend doesn't reinforce that same thing that I do, so like, when my dog jumps up on me, I grab her paws, which she hates, and make her dance with me. So she doesn't jump up on me unless she's, like, sneaking up on me.
Let's keep in mind.
She will keep jumping on Rosalie.
Keep in mind, your dog weighs like 3 pounds.
I know, but it's like a principle thing, really, you know?
I get it.
The other one doesn't. And, like, her jumping on you... I'm also worried about like accidentally stepping on her feet when she does that.
Well, I mean, you could give them a lesson that I give my children, which is you just let things happen when you know they're making bad decisions, and if they get hurt, they get hurt.
Well,
and
dogs are a little different.
Lessons.
Like, they need, like, with kids, they learn, right? A dog's learning is different than like a kid's learning. Like, if my dog accidentally slips under my feet and I step on them, that's not going to teach her no. I have to consistently tell her no before
you don't
she
think
gets
that,
it, you know? You
don't think that her feet getting stepped on is like a natural effect?
Well, because I accidentally step on her feet all the time because she likes to try to run in front of me while I'm walking, and she still does it.
Yeah, and she's older, right? She's not a puppy.
No, Lil is like 4.
Yeah. By the way, she's the ugliest, cutest dog I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's pretty ugly.
She is ugly, but she's so cute. It's pretty ridiculous. It cracks me up.
She's very expressive. I'll see if like I can link a picture of her in the show notes.
You should for sure. I think people would enjoy seeing her. I think they're all going to say she's ugly.
You know what? Follow Pandora and Lil on Instagram. We have an Instagram
No, you
for
don't.
them.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we got an Instagram for them. We're just really bad about keeping it updated.
It's okay because now you have to keep up everything updated for us, so just throw it on there.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about how much you. So we're going to get off topic for a second. So Shay is I don't need like a meme troll. Like you post more memes than anybody I know. In fact, your Facebook account was shut down for days because you were posting too much. Is that correct?
Actually, well, so what I did was I try really hard to keep current in the meme world. So they have a little suggestion bar on the bottom, and it's a pretty good suggestion bar on Facebook. So I just started liking a bunch of pages, and I liked too many too quickly, and so they put me on like a 7-day ban. So I'm not like I'm not an alt-right troll or anything. Like I'm not getting pulled down for that. Actually, you know what's really crazy? I'm actually really happy you brought this up. I just started following a page called Christians Against Dinosaurs. So there's a bunch of meme pages and groups like single Christian mothers against left-handed people and single Christian mothers against pit bulls and single Christian, and it's all joke. It's always a joke.
Right. It's got to be trolls, right? Those are trolls. Please tell me those are trolls, not real people.
Most of the time. There are some groups that are very serious, but they're very easy to spot. There's one that I started following, the Christians Against Dinosaurs, and at first they had me because like their question process was like a little tiny bit memey, but like to the point where you might think that this was a real thing. Their like description sounds like a real thing, and there are a bunch of Christians out there who don't believe in dinosaurs. And like their like questionnaire, their like pinned post for this is the group, this is what we are, seemed very serious, but like all of the posts are very memey. Like I'm looking at one now and it has a T-Rex smoking weed and it says, I think I found a new mascot for the Dinophiles, which is what they call people who believe in dinosaurs. Dinophiles.
I'm a dinophile because I believe in dinosaurs. What about little kids who believe in dinosaurs?
They talk about like, okay, I'll get there. And then he goes, this is how they think, and it's sickening. And it's a T-Rex, and it says, hey kids, want to smoke some weed and deny Jesus Christ?
Have you, you've heard of Dino Dan, right?
Yeah. I think so.
All right. Dino Dan is the most fucked up kid show on the face of the planet. I'm not going to say whether or not I may have been smoking something like weed during the time that I might have watched it once or twice. I wasn't watching it on my own, which makes it even worse, but I wasn't by myself. I have actual real medical conditions. I may have brought them up in previous podcast, but I'll keep them to myself. I have real medical conditions. I was on some pretty heavy steroids and using weed kind of just really to center me out. I wasn't even trying to make myself high, and it really wasn't. To be honest with you, it was a really weird feeling. I felt with steroids, the amount of steroids I was on, which was a lot, versus the weed I was smoking, it almost leveled me, but not quite.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at, I just pulled up a picture. It's like dinosaurs in modern times?
Okay, so here's what it is. Here's how the story goes for children. There's a kid who sees dinosaurs, and you learn about dinosaurs, and he sees them within everyday life, and he sees them everywhere.
Yeah,
now,
they're like really bad CGI'd, and like they don't have shadows?
That's correct. So, the dark part of the story is he's the only one who sees them, and he is insane. And his mother is a single mother police officer. There is no father in the picture. She's never around. This kid sees hallucinations of dinosaurs, and people just agree with him because they feel bad with him and basically live his fantasy life with him so that he doesn't go crazy.
That reminds me of some like Rugrats.
I think we've talked about that.
Theories. Yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about it on previous podcasts, but we've definitely talked about it. But yeah, no, I've heard all that stuff. But this, like, legitly, like, this is happening. His mom's never around. She's a police officer. She doesn't have time for him. And he's out there in the neighborhood with everybody chasing fucking meat-eating ass dinosaurs that will fucking chew your face off. And people are just going along with it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it's totally, and it's true too. Like, I didn't read this on Reddit. I didn't look this up. This is my own opinion that I got from the show. And like I said, I might have been a little high when I started to come to that conclusion, but total truth. If you watch it now with that perspective, it changes the whole show.
So back to Christians Against Dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have to talk about this. So there was one that was posted with the caption of, "What kind of sick shit is this?" As if this guy thinks it's normal to be turned on by dinosaurs. And then some guy who posted on a dinosaur page, and it says, "Is there anyone else who just gets turned off by the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park?" So my comment, and I love to do this, as a Christian mother, I am against Jurassic Park.
That's pretty funny.
So somebody else comments below, "Sorry, based on your profile picture, it sounds like you were lying and trolling this page. Not appreciated. Thank you."
No shit.
And so I posted after that, I was like, "Well, you know what they say about assuming." And he says, "If you're going to prove to me that you are really a Christian mother, then I apologize. But from what I gather, it sounds like you're just trying to make fun of us." And then I put, "As a Christian mother, I don't have to prove anything to you. God knows."
You sound like a
So
bad
his response
person.
is, "You are pathetic, mate. Have you nothing better to do? I'm sure there's many atheist pages you can join to talk about dinosaurs and other fantasies."
Well, he's not a Christian mother. Why is he on that page?
It's not Christian mothers. It's just Christians Against Dinosaurs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a Christian mother's page.
But it is a troll page. Like, I've looked into it, and one of my favorites is somebody was like asking if this was a satire page, because I think somebody did the same thing to him that they did to me. And because I usually just troll these pages until they kick me out, if it's not a troll page. But they were like, "No, this is a troll page. The trolls are just really, really into their own stuff. So, like, you wouldn't know."
So he could have been trolling you and you just weren't aware of it.
Oh yeah, if you look at his page, like I'm pulling it up right now. He like has. Let me talk about his this Sean guy. It's a picture of him and his dog, but then there's like a house and a bunch of John Cena's just all over this like photoshopped image of a house, and then literally everything he's posted is memes. So
so he's playing the game. That's fine.
yeah, he's playing the game. But I was genuinely not sure for a while until like I really did some digging if this was a like for sure satire page or not. It's great. I'm hitting a new level of satire.
I think that because you love this so much, and the reason why I really brought this up is you're going to start posting memes to our Instagram and Facebook account, which will be up by the time all our stuff is up.
Yeah,
and
I just have to remake them since we used the wrong email.
I thought I fixed that, but anyway. So you're gonna make all those and you're gonna post those. But I think on the show it might be fun, and maybe at some point. I mean, there are musicians in my house like Sophia and a bunch of other people I know, and we could have them do this. But I think we should have like the meme of the week or the page of the week to go see the memes.
Okay. Yeah, I can post this page to the. Let me put that in my notes. Talk about this dinos page.
I think every week we should discuss a new page because you're so into it. Like, you post more memes than anybody I know. You just do.
Well, like, so I get downtime at work sometimes, and sometimes I just get like really like into memeing.
But you don't do this at work because you get paid at work, and you would never do such a thing at work.
No, I do this at work.
All right,
they can fire me.
enough.
It's fine. Like the big one right now for me is the Mothman.
I have noticed that. But I did see that you also posted that Bigfoot's making a comeback while he's playing the saxophone.
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend's... that's one of her favorites. Bigfoot.
So you're into cryptos?
I do like cryptos. I don't know that I think they're real. Maybe.
Which
It'd
is
be
your
cool.
favorite?
I like...
You can't say Mothman because you've been talking about him a lot, so it can't be a flavor of the month. It's got to be the one. If you had to say, this is the crypto that's out there that I want to meet and that I can't meet any other cryptos, then that's the one.
Mothman's pretty crazy, though. Like, I like the So there's a couple. I would love to see Nessie. I think anyone would love to see Nessie. But, like, do you know about Indrid Cold?
No. Educate me.
So, I mean, in the movie, The Mothman Prophecies, they talk about, like, whenever he gets a phone call, it's from Indrid Cold, and he's like, oh, it's the Mothman. But, like, Indrid Cold is, like, this, like, mysterious man in black type figure that just kind of shows up, and he was actually my gamer tag for a while. So some people call him the Mothman. I don't really know if it has anything to do with that, to be honest. I think it's just mostly like the movie The Mothman Prophecies brings up Indrid Cold, so that's why. But he's like this like smiling dude in black clothes who like doesn't quite look like he is human. Like he looks like human skin over something else.
Isn't it? Are you saying like a Men in Black, like the guys with no lips that are actually really aliens that are doing investigations to find out what people are actually up to?
Kind of, but like not really a Man in Black. Like he's like associated with the Men in Black, and people think he might be associated with the Men in Black, but he usually shows up when there's like UFO activity. And like, you know, sometimes if they think you know too much or something, but he's like different and colder and like smiling ear to ear.
I thought the Men in Black were the same way. I know you listened to the last podcast on Left.
The Men in Black, I mean, they talk about the Men in Black. I think they're a little bit like deeper into it than, like, I think they're pulling from deeper sources, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, those guys are way into doing research. That's why we're the bullshit podcast. We don't do research. We just listen to guys like them.
So I don't know if Indrid Cold, I mean, he's associated with the Men in Black, but he's like a specific person.
Like he's a legitimate person, like he exists?
Well, it's like there have been sightings of him, and like he's come up to people and said, hi, I'm Indrid Cold, and that sort of thing. And people have kind of like talked about him, and they like know his name, or like they've gotten phone calls from him. I have to do more research. I used to know a lot more about Indrid Cold, but like it's been a while.
I think he himself is considered a cryptid.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I'm looking at some stuff about him.
But it's like his whole thing, like all of that lore is like super creepy.
It's all super creepy.
I don't know. I think Nessie's kind of cool. Nessie's kind of cute. Same
until
with Bigfoot.
Until Nessie tries to eat you.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't heard of anybody getting eaten by Nessie yet.
The reason why you haven't heard about it is because it got eaten.
I mean, how many people go missing on Loch Ness?
I have no idea, but if you talk about the national park epidemic we have in this country, they would say thousands of people disappear in national parks.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So maybe
Bigfoot's not as cute as I thought.
Right, like people are disappearing, and that's real shit. You can look it up. That I don't need to do a ton of research on that to know like national parks, I think, have the highest rate of missing people in like the world.
Well, I wonder how much of it is just people who don't want to be found. And I also wonder how much of it is like bears.
And fair enough. I wonder how much of it is complete bullshit of what's coming out of me, because this is just shit I can remember reading shit on, and I don't even know if any of it's truly true. I guess I could look it up, but yeah, I don't know. I think the whole reason why we got into all the cryptids, though, I just have to admit, was because I want you to start posting your memes to our shit instead of yours.
Okay. I'll like double share.
That's exactly what we have to do. We want to entertain the audience, you guys out there who know we're full of shit.
See y'all next time.
See you later. This is the Bullshit Podcast signing off. Keep your bullshit to yourself, or feel free to share it with us at 30minutebullshit@gmail.com. I think that's it.
It's actually 30 minutes or 30-minute BS podcast at gmail.com.
With the numbers. All right. Have a good one.
until I reach the end. Ain't nothing you tell me to get